friends, it's Mari. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be making an A2 size card today, and I'm going to be starting off here with this Hot Cocoa Cups die set from My Favorite Things. And I'm going to be using one of the cups here, the cup that actually has the handle on the right side. I'm going to be using the whipped cream topping, and I'm also going to be using the little oval that is meant to make it look like coffee, and then also the little heart shape that's part of the dies. I'm going to be doing some Copic coloring here, and this is the very first time that I've ever used on camera anyways, Copic Express It paper, or Express It paper that's Copic friendly. It's paper that is meant for blending alcohol markers, and I do find that it was a fair bit different than using Neenah Solar White cardstock. I found that I definitely had to go back and add the color more than I would to blend the darks and lights with the Neenah paper. But in the end, I really liked how the blending looked. And so for the mug, I'm using a bunch of different blue colors here. You can see the caps with the colors on them. And I started off with the lightest color and then went in with the next darkest and then a darker blue yet, just to blend it out and create the shadow at the outer edges, really trying to make this look like the cup has dimension, that it's rounded. And you can just see I'm going back, quite a few times with the lighter and darker just to really get it blended nicely. And I really like how it looks when I'm finished. But it definitely took more blending, I think, than the Neenah paper. I still really like this Express It paper. I just feel like it's going to take me a little bit of time to practice with it and figure out how it exactly works. And yeah, I'm happy with the result today. It just definitely took me some time. So now I'm just taking that little oval piece that was part of the die, and that is going to be the cocoa or the coffee or whatever that's in my cup here. And I'm going to glue that down and continue on with the rest of the coloring for the project. I'm also going to be using the My Favorite Things Sweater Weather in the Woods stamp set and die set for my project today as well. And so you'll also see me coloring and die cutting some of those little bits and pieces from that stamp and die set as well for my card today. I really like how this card turned out. It was really fun to create, and I am going to put a little bit of music on for you here to watch the rest of the Copic coloring, and then I'll see you back in a bit. So that completes all of the Copic coloring for these little critters and that cup. Now what I wanted to do was I wanted to take a piece of Bristol Smooth white cardstock. I trimmed that out with a stitched mini scallop rectangle from My Favorite Things. And this is going to be the base for my little critters for the front of my card. I'm just blending onto that some Distress Oxide in Tumbled glass with my Picket Fence life-changing brush here. And what I really wanted to do here was just sort of like create the impression of a sky and some grassy area for my little card front. So you'll just see me blending on that tumbled glass, and now I'm blending on some Shabby shutters in Distress Oxide as well. I'll go back and do a little bit more blue and blend those two colors together a little bit. And I'm going to take this Imagine Crafts Sheer Shimmer spray in gold. I just love how that adds a really pretty sheen to the front of my card. And now I'm going to stamp the sentiment for my card front out with some Versamark ink. And I'm going to heat emboss that with some Nuvo Nuvo Gold Enchantment glitter embossing powder. And I really love the sparkle and shine of this embossing powder. I think it's so pretty. And I like how that coordinates with that shimmer spritz that I added to my card base or my card front base as well. So I'm going to heat that up with my heat tool and melt that. And I'm just going to take a oval scallop punch from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to trim that out for my sentiment for the front of my card. I just wanted to give it a bit of a colored edge, and so I'm taking a little foam tool here, and I'm just dabbing that into the tumbled glass and then making a blue edge on my little scallop piece. Now I've popped that scallop sentiment up on some foam adhesive and adhered that to the corner of my card. And now I'm just going to take some liquid adhesive and glue my little cocoa cup down. And I'm going to take some foam adhesive, some foam dots, and add my little critters to my card front, just popping them up on that foam adhesive to give them a little bit more dimension so that the cocoa cup is flat and the little critters are popped up, as is the sentiment. And I really like how that looks. I like how that finishes off my card front, and I'm going to adhere this down onto my card base. Now I'm going to put a layer of patterned paper behind that. This patterned paper comes from this paper pad, which is My Favorite Things Free Spirit paper pack. I've had it in my stash for a while, but I really love it. I cut it out with one of those rectangled stitch dies that I just showed you there from My Favorite Things. And I'm going to just glue that down with some liquid adhesive onto my A2 size card base, which is just a piece of gray cardstock. And I like how that is a pretty neutral base for this really adorable little scene that was created with that die set, the Hot Cocoa Cups, and then the Sweater Weather in the Woods stamps from My Favorite Things. I love this stamp set. I think it is absolutely genius. And so now I'm just taking my Nuvo glitter pen and I'm adding some glitter to the little critters and to that heart. I realized that there was a little area on my little moose's sweater there that I didn't get colored, so I just finished that up quick. And now you'll just see me adding more of that Nuvo glitter to the little critters. I love the glitter pen. I think it just adds so much sparkle and shine to a project, and I often finish my cards this way. Add a little bit to that heart as well, and so that just adds a little bit of shimmer there. And now I am mostly finished with my embellishing. I'm just going to take a white gel pen and add a few little white dots here and there. I felt like I added just a few too many to that moose's face, and I go back in later with my Nuvo glitter pen and remove some of those white dots. If you ever need to do that, the glitter pen is a perfect way to do that because it just totally erases the white gel pen, and that's why you have to do the glitter first and then the gel pen. Now you'll just see me go in and put a few little dots on some of the red areas as well, just because I think that just adds a really nice contrast to those red stripes on the sweaters and then that heart as well. I'm going to just add some little pink areas to my little fox and my little moose in the little cheek area, I guess, and just to give them that little pink highlight. And just going to go in again with a little bit more of that white gel pen on the little red areas there. I was thinking I'd already done that, but I'm just going to do that now and just finish that up. I really love how this card turned out. I think it's really sweet. I think that there's a lot of fun ways that you can combine your different bits that you have in your card making stash. I love how this hot cocoa die just complements this other stamp set, the Sweater Weather in the Woods, so well. Adding just a little bit of Nuvo glaze to the noses of the two little critters, and my project is finished. And I'm just going to show you the inside and how I embellished that as well from the Sweater Weather stamp set. Thanks so much for stopping by, guys. I really appreciate it. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you again.